Hi there. Are you being bothered by a botherer? Hassled by a hater? Cowed by a critic? Troubled by a termagant? Angered by an arguer? Corralled by a carper? Nonplussed by a ninny or irritated by an idiot? Well, many of us will have had a blog or a vlog or a video that we've taken a great deal of trouble over, criticised in a negative way. Maybe our ideas or beliefs have been ridiculed, even our mental capacity called into question. Well, perhaps you, like me, have pondered on how can I respond to this? Well, those of you who know me will recognise that when seeking help, I most frequently turn to the Bible. And before you switch over to something else, let me just tell you that the Bible does tell us how to handle a hater. And it's difficult to be a YouTuber long before needing such advice, and even a site like Vloggerheads can produce the occasional attack that appears to be unjustified, ill-informed, and to many people hurtful. So what has the Bible got to say about handling haters? Well, just listen to this. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice, and weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind toward one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. Don't be wise in your own opinion. Repay no one evil for evil, having regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath, for it is written, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord." Therefore, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him a drink. For so doing, you will heap coals of fire on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Now that was a passage is from the book of Romans in the New Testament, chapter 12, verses 14 to 21. But that thing about if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him a drink. For in so doing, you will heap coals of fire on his head. What does that mean? Well, what Paul is writing about there, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor calling up the remembrance of how metals are refined, you know? They are refined in heat, coals of fire, and they're heated up, and the dross rises to the surface, and you can pour off the purified pure metal and form it into ingots. A poet expressed it like this. He said, "So artists melt the sullen ore of lead by heaping coals of fire upon its head. In the kind warmth, the metal learns to glow, and pure from dross, the silver runs below." You see, the whole point of it is to actually say that by heaping coals of fire upon our enemy, it's intended for good and not for evil. It's intended to benefit them. It's intended to purify them. And how does it do it? Because it does it by kindness. It actually, how do we put it into practice? Well, somebody criticises you, maybe even obscenely. What do? Well, you send them back a reply just saying, "Thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video." You don't have to enter into a debate. You certainly don't defend. If somebody is being unreasonable in their way they express themselves, you're under no obligation to respond. And really, it's far better not to. If somebody's asking questions in a perfectly reasonable manner, then great. Yes, obviously, we get engaged in a dialogue. That's what it's all about. But not if they're being obscene, just critical, then don't take it up. But you reply and say, That's really cool that you bothered to watch my video. Thank you very much. Because they needn't have bothered to look. And who knows, sometimes when people see a truth presented before them which they're unwilling to accept, it actually makes them feel bad inside, because it's their guilt, if you like, or you've shaken their belief or their faith. I remember the response of somebody when I was talking about Jesus, and their response was to say, "You've shown me another way to God," because that person was of a different faith. And sometimes you share things and it has a very positive effect. That was a very positive comment to make, but that person equally well could have actually been quite vituperative in their attack, instead of actually being open and being kind in their approach. So that's the Bible's answer to how to handle haters. How to handle a hater? You just love them back. And in our context of vlogging and blogging and doing videos, that means just make a polite comment back to them, and don't be drawn ever into responding in kind, because that doesn't bless anybody. Just remember this, that negativity does not produce creativity. Creativity comes from positivity, and that's what we want to pursue. God bless you. Have a great time vlogging, blogging and videoing, and I look forward to see more of your work on YouTube, Vloggerheads, wherever. Have a good day.